Hello and welcome to Thrive at Home. My name is Sam.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And we are going to discuss something as we go into the holidays that might be relevant. And that is sometimes conflicts come up between family and they become tough to talk about. And so sometimes we get triangled in as spouses because maybe our spouse has a conflict with some person in the family, and maybe we're like, well, I need you to tell them, I need you to say something. And I think the concept of being careful not to get triangled into a situation that is not yours as a spouse, but not abandoning your spouse. So you never want to take another person's side, against your spouse, even though sometimes you can feel.
Right.
Sometimes you can see the other person's side. In fact, you will often see the other person's side. But remembering that there is a need to stay connected and attached and stand with your spouse, but not kind of being sent out to fight for your spouse.
Right.
And I know this isn't a spouse situation, but I can remember being a kid, probably 5 years old, and I was riding the bus, and we had this tree out front, and it had these little berries on it, if I remember right. This is in St. Louis. And I remember standing out in front of that tree and those kids, and they would start talking about whose brother could beat up whose brother. Yeah, it was like, we're not gonna fight, but my brother could beat up your brother. And that becomes sometimes the way we solve problems is we bring up reinforcements. Like I'm gonna have my wife, talk to you, or
go talk to them. They're not making any sense, or go talk to them. They just need them out of the kitchen, or when you send someone else to fight your battles, you may feel like it takes you out of the hot seat,
right?
But in reality, it doesn't actually work. It creates a triangle, which creates actually more problems or compounding problems on top of it.
And even as you were saying that, I was thinking, it's possible that the original person knows they're going to blow things up worse.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Well, the problem then is that, saving them by taking care of it is a problem.
Right.
Okay. Coming to the rescue of another person is a problem.
Right.
So ultimately, here's the idea. The idea is you should stand with your spouse while they have that conversation. Like,
right.
I can't say it for you, but I can be with you while you say it.
Right.
And that's, I think, the challenging concept that we often face, because, couples do fight about family quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And so that is a common thing, or maybe adults will fight over their kids. Mm-hmm. And like, how do we say this to our kids or whatever? So what we're trying to give you the concept here is that if it's a problem that you have,
right,
the person with the problem is the one that needs to be speaking about the problem.
They've got to be the mouthpiece.
Right.
But then the spouse can be the support.
Yeah. And if you can't do it calmly, then you need to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because if you're upset and you're over that I don't care what I say line, then you will be blowing up the relationship, not helping it. Mm-hmm. So you got to be in a calm, level-headed state. And then if you're scared or whatever, it's okay to have someone there as support, but not be the person who is doing the talking for you.
Right.
So I hope that helps as we move towards the holiday season, just in case you have reason to have a difficult conversation with someone. Just know that that's really yours to own.
You want to hear the funny thing? We want to encourage you to put on your big girl or your big boy underwear, and we don't want to encourage you to have a fight or to blow things up. That is not the point. But the deal is that until we get out what's going on for us, or until we get out that the desire or the longing or whatever it is to express what's going on, we're not going to get the kind of connection and closeness that we all desire, especially most of us during the holidays. We desire to have a connection and closeness. That's why we get together. That's why we have our families. That's why we buy gifts. And sometimes we have a set of expectations, like things are going to be great or they're going to be awesome because we've thrown this massive family dinner. And then when we get that sense that things aren't quite going right, instead of falling into that trap again, the encouragement from us is put on your big kid underwear and take a stab at trying to express what's going on for you and to address the situation. And the reinforcement that you need is someone that stands by your side in order to do that. Yeah. And so that's what we're trying to say.
Yeah. This is really good because I was just thinking about how that people kind of fall. We don't do balance super well, so very few of us are perfect. I'm one of the only ones, but most everyone. I'm just kidding. But the truth is that we typically fall one side or the other. So we're both therapists, and we fall on the conflict avoidance side. So
true.
When I walk down the street, I don't get into fights. I don't get into fights. Okay, I don't have the police called regularly to our house. You know what I'm saying? We pretty much just, so we're the conflict avoidant people. There's a whole group of people like us. And then there are the, hey, we're going to defend our rights. We are going to, hey, I think you look wrong. I'm going to address this right now. Okay, right. Even if I'm wrong, because I am scanning the room for threat and I discover you, so I think maybe you're a threat. I'm going to back you down. I deal with a lot of those people at work. You know, the Marine Corps is filled with people who are scanning the room for conflict, and they will pick it out. So you have the conflict avoiders, then you have the sort of the conflict seekers, if I may say that. And so neither one of those is necessarily wrong. It's just styles. But recognizing that it is a problem that was there.
Right.
Okay. And so it is the tension that alerts us to a problem. So even those of us who are conflict avoidant, we often feel tension in our relationships.
Right.
But we tolerate that tension. So we just sit there and we let the tension build, and it can be almost deafening, that tension, and yet we will avoid bringing it up. Where another person is, in a sense, lighting that match everywhere they go. They're very low tension tolerance. As soon as they feel it, they say something. So I think maybe both need to go towards the problem. So if you're feeling a lot of tension around the holidays, maybe, as you're saying, put on the big
kid
underwear and address the tension. And that's terrifying, okay? Because obviously we don't want things to go badly. And so with that, you may just want to say that, hey, I don't want this to blow up, but I do feel tension, and I do feel like maybe there's a problem we need to address. And say something. So, all right. Hope that's been helpful as you approach the holidays, and hope you have a great Thanksgiving and Christmas.